Salve. Sorry to be a broken record, but it is still hot and humid here in Italy, in Tuscany. This is the final part of August, but as many of you who have holidayed in Italy know, the whole country just shuts down in August. There's a big national holiday, which is Ferragosto, and pretty much from Ferragosto, which is midway through August, from that point on, no builders, everyone just shuts down. I'm now towards the end of my pregnancy. Everything is fine. Thank you for all those kind people who have been asking. My last ultrasound, which is the last ultrasound for the whole pregnancy, everything was really great. The placenta has migrated as I hoped it would. The doctors said it wouldn't, but it has, and now it's completely fine. I'm no longer high risk, and I don't have to have a cesarean, so that's exciting for me. I'm very, very excited, but I'm still trying to just go slowly with things because the heat is just insane. And so I've just been trying to swim rather than go for long walks. We have been quite excited because my parents arrive from Australia this week, and I was busy in preparation mode, even though my mother was saying, don't go to any trouble, please don't cook for us. But of course I'm going to cook for my parents. So we were very excited about that, both of us actually, because Guido feels a lot more calm. He's always a lot more calm when they're here because they just help us so much around the property, not just with work, but also making a lot of decisions. And they've done so much renovating. My father's just always built yachts and houses and things, so he has a lot of knowledge, as does my mother. So yeah, we were really excited about that. And I was just preparing the little cottage where they stay while they're with us, and they're going to stay for quite a while. So we were away for what, 2 weeks or a week and a half?
Yeah.
And the lettuce turned into Christmas trees.
Yeah.
It's also the season for planting cauliflower, so we got cauliflower and spinach, and of course some basil, which is always welcome. Something I love to do when I have family or friends come to stay for longer than a couple of days or something, I like to fill the place they're staying with groceries so that they don't have to think about getting back in a car after they get on a flight and going and doing grocery shopping. So yeah, I filled the little cottage on the property where they're staying with all kinds of fruit and all the legumes and different types of wines and everything that they love to eat. And yeah, that for in our family, our love language is definitely an abundance of food. Having an abundance of food makes us feel calm. So that was fun. We just filled it all up and then drove to Rome, where my parents were coming in, and also tried to get our marriage license sorted out because we're still not officially married. We were just married in a church, but we couldn't get the right documents. It's been over a year of trying to get the right documents to be able to be married. So we had to sort that out in Rome as well. And yeah, it's all happening now. I mean, I'm feeling really good in spite of the heat. We're just trying to take it slow and having lots of discussions about what to try and do in these last weeks before the baby comes. Next Monday, the builders are starting on the bathroom. Do you remember with the stone wall and everything in our ensuite and our master bedroom? But I don't think they'll get to the master bedroom. But possibly they might be able to finish the bathroom before the baby is born. The pool has been coming along as well. They were the only builders that came back a bit early after the summer break. So they filled in all the earth. They put all these rocks and earth in around the perimeter of the pool. So now it's looking a little bit more like a proper pool as opposed to just this big crater in the earth. And then they poured cement around the border where we're going to put bricks and a border of travertine. So we went to the Marmista, is in a town nearby here, and he is the stonemason who is carving the travertine border around the pool, and we just had to decide what type of detailing we want on that. So Guido's like, I want to wait to hear what your parents think because they never like to force their ideas, but Guido seems to like getting their opinion on all the aesthetic details of the property. So we had a bit of a chat with them to try and understand whether we should do a curved edge or straight or with a little lip.
This will be wide, so I tried to find the paint for this because we have 3 skimmers that have this applied on top that could be painted. This is one thing. So the liner
you did find
no, I didn't find it. I didn't find the right paint. Then you will have this like this.
Oh.
No, sorry, like this.
Okay.
Okay. This is like this, and then you have this inside here.
That's the lining.
Yeah, it goes exactly.
Okay, so you won't see the aluminium.
Nice.
You won't see the aluminium underneath. You will see it on top.
How?
What do you mean?
There
Like
you go.
that?
No.
No? Oh,
In the slip.
Oh, it goes in there.
Yeah, it has a thing that blocks it.
Oh, they've got a sort of a locking thing.
Correct.
In there.
Exactly. This is it.
I see.
So if you line it like this, you will see it.
Oh,
This
no,
is the point.
Oh, that's no good. No.
So this
yeah,
is
but
the,
if you painted it, it would be all right.
so
yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
it's perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
But
And
you
it's
see this.
smooth. It's smooth to
And you
get
can
out.
climb and everything.
Yeah, and that
you,
feels lovely.
and you won't hit on it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Otherwise, these are the 3 centimeters.
I think that's nicer, no?
Like this. But if you try to climb, you will hit in this.
Yes, but why would you climb out when you've got the stairs?
Although it does give you a grip to climb.
Yeah, it means you can put
If
it
you're
up.
drowning, you can hang on.
I'm not saying it's. I'm just.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
asked the person
These are
that
the
builds the
facts.
pool,
Yeah.
and the builder said we always put nothing coming out.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Always.
so
So
that
they would know then.
But not necessarily. I mean, a lot of their pools are really ugly.
Yeah, but they do it for a reason.
so we could do this. I think
Or the other side. Or the other side.
this obviously should be.
Oh, on that way, you have to have it out a bit, don't
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Or you can have it also just straight.
I don't think you can. Oh, I mean, they cut them differently.
Yeah, you just cut it vertically. These are finishings that are more expensive compared to a like straight cut.
Well, you don't want a straight cut because, gee, you know, you've got to, if you bang against that.
Yeah, but they smooth the angle.
Oh, I see.
It's like it's perpendicular.
But see, if you're swimming, and this is the end of the pool, and you hit your hand there, well, that's better than there.
Yeah, I agree. But, this is just what options.
Okay, so everyone agrees that's not an option.
I like the lip, whatever you call it. Come si chiama in italiano?
Becco di cicogna.
Ah, becco di the beak of the stork.
Correct.
So it's either with the beak of the stork, it's either over there or
just.
Now, does it have to be 3 centimeters, or can it be?
This is what is proportioned compared to the 4 centimeter thing. So
I see.
this is the what they reckon is proportioned for this.
and are they recommending
For the thickness of
Yeah,
it?
correct.
Oh, I see.
And actually, this is we already got the material, so we already have the amount of material for all around and in this type of travertine.
The stonemason, he didn't think this looked nice. He said mostly with pools we have this upside down. So if you, Daddy, can you just turn that?
The builder said, "Oh, we could do this," and you just clock it in.
See, normally they have it like that.
Like this.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
That does make sense.
well, it looks nice, but I think it's nice to have that detail. Then it's like the table, which was our original inspiration, which
Yes,
is.
so I suppose this makes it easier for the builder.
I don't care. That's not a problem.
No. But that's probably why they do it, because it's so easy.
Yeah, they probably say, "Oh, it looks nicer like this," just because it's easier.
easier to
This
do.
is not finished. This side.
No,
The finishing is the other side.
I think in the end, we all decided that the detailing is quite nice, and it's similar to the detailing in the travertine table that my parents gifted us as a wedding present. That's under the pergola. I don't know if any of you recall from last year. We had this travertine table carved, custom made and carved by hand, and that is beautiful, or sculpted, I guess is the better word, sculpted, and so it's nice to have all this thread of travertine, because the church, the chapel on the property is that same pale travertine, and then we have the table, and now we'll have the pool as well. And so that is all coming along. Next week they're putting in the lining and laying the border once we've decided on the travertine. Meanwhile, I have been cooking every day in this new kitchen, which is partly finished. Do you remember with the sink? And I made the little curtain below. And we got a new oven, which is very exciting because I only had an oven which kind of burns things from below. And now we've got this lovely oven, which I actually had a company offer me a free oven and a free fridge. And we turned them down because, we actually went for a different brand, because I just really, the oven is very important to me. So even though we were able to get this other oven for free, we ended up saying no, because this oven I've got is it's not very expensive. I mean, some of the beautiful ones, the luxurious ones I looked at were incredible, and they've got sort of all this brass everywhere, and they look fantastic, but they've got 2 separate ovens, which initially I thought might be an advantage. However, I find it's not necessarily, because more often than not I'm finding I'm cooking like a big roast, or I'm cooking whole fish for 6-8 people, and I need a lot of space in width. So this oven is one of the widest you can get, and it's just so beautiful. The other day I made 2 cheesecakes side by side. I cooked them both at the same time because I often find myself, if I'm cooking a cake for friends, and then I'll cook an extra one and take it to Guido's parents when we go and visit them, or when we're back in Florence. So I'm really loving it, and it's got a nice black stovetop, which is easy doesn't show up as much grease and everything. So yes, for me, this oven is a real game changer, and they did a beautiful copper pipe for the gas that they ran along the stone wall, which is very pretty as well. We're still struggling a bit to organize the layout of the kitchen, mostly because of the olive press, which I know a lot of you have said, oh, I'd take that out, but Guido absolutely doesn't want it taken out. I love the olive press. The motor down by the wall I'm less attached to. I think the olive press is a beautiful piece of history, but Guido says, no, can't move the motor, but it sort of blocks this whole wall, which creates a bit of trouble because we can't put a cabinet there, we can't put a fridge, we can't use the space, and of course the olive press is right in the center, so it kind of creates a few challenges.
So you have a big table that's very heavy.
And then the fireplace is going in the corner, and that's...
How far does the fireplace come up?
It's that thing there. It's not a fire. Now it became a sort of stove.
Oh.
And you can open it. I never understand how. Come on. And you can keep it open. And it's done on an angle. This is made to be put inside old fireplaces, but we can put it put it higher on the corner, and it goes, and there's this tube here that it got rusty because they left it outside because I'm an idiot.
Because although the kitchen you see it's got a lot of space, but it hasn't got a lot of wall space, and that's it makes things a little difficult because we're just trying to work out how to structure everything. And also the current kitchen that I've been cooking in, you know, the one with the big fireplace and everything, that's got it's so just poorly organized. So we've got a sort of this lid that comes up, and we look in, and the pantry is sort of everything just stacked on top of each other. It's just horrible. So I've got this dream of these shelves that I can have everything just laid out, shallow shelves. I think depth is always a problem in kitchens because as soon as you go 2 rows back, you can't see, and it's hard to get things out. And I just think it creates a lot of disorder. So I'm quite excited about these shelves. And ages ago I bought the wrought iron brackets to go underneath, and we're going to use planks just from around in the barn. There's some planks that the builders have used for scaffolding that are not being used anymore. So and then I want to sort of sand those back, varnish them, and then just have big long rows where I can do a pantry on one level, and then have all my baking pans, and then go up and have just everything displayed on this wall. So this is the olive press. Then here we have a long shelf, possibly with a curtain, so we can make this a pantry. And then pots and pans that I use often that are heavy, ones that I use less, and then ones that are just decorative, ones from Guido's Swedish grandmother that we want on display but don't have to use every day. Right now, that corner has been used as just a dumping ground, and it is just packed with all kinds of things. I mean, stuff from Guido's grandmother's house from 60, 70 years ago. There's old rugs, there's rubbish, there's just such a mix of stuff, and I have been dying to get to it, but I can't lift anything. I don't know if anyone else who's been pregnant has found that so frustrating, just being, I just want to throw myself into it and get things done without having to rely on other people or ask a favor of someone or say, oh, Guido, could you help me? Fortunately, my parents, in spite of being jet-lagged from travelling for 48 hours straight, share my love of getting things in order, and they generously jumped straight into tidying up the entire corner of the kitchen so we could plan the wall of shelves. We got a G-store to bring planks over on the tractor and started sanding, cleaning, varnishing, and drilling the wrought iron brackets.
Oh, you'll have to come out. Just got to go hard up against the wall.
Oh, it's
Voila.
Ta-da!
Beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, you know what?
Lovely.
Ah, it's there.
Oh, amazing.
Well done, team.
Yeah.
Do you think I should add a curtain to hide the pantry goods like cans of chickpeas and pasta on this bottom shelf, or just keep things neat and tidy and orderly in food categories? On one hand, it's nice to see clearly at a glance what you're running low on before you go to the supermarket without having to peer behind a curtain. On the other hand, it might be better to keep all the packaging neatly hidden. Ingredients like flour, oats, sugar, rice, I will transfer into a long row of matching mason jars, so I don't mind them being on display.
Guido was less convinced. He was like, oh, I don't know about these shelves, but he was wanting to put a big dresser back there. But I think because you've got so little room between the olive press and the wall, if you start putting in a big wide dresser or cabinet, it's just you can't open the drawer fully, you can't open the cupboard fully. And as someone who spends a lot of time in kitchens, I feel that having everything displayed on shallow shelves really just makes for a very serene cooking. So I'm quite excited about it, and I think it's a nice compromise, a way to keep the olive press but still have that wall be utilized to its full capacity. This week I cooked a torta caprese al cioccolato, which is a flourless, gluten-free chocolate cake, which is very common here in Italy. The torta caprese, you can find it done with citrus, with lemons or oranges, and it's very, very light and delicious, or you can find it with chocolate. And this is a cake that's made using almond meal or almond flour, and it's very moist, it's very light. It's not so rich actually, because it does have that little bit of structure from the almond flour. However, I wanted a cake that could be served cold from the fridge, because it's just so hot. Even at night, you don't really feel like you just want to eat a dessert that is cold. And I always like to make my desserts the night before or 2 days before, preferably. This torta caprese, it gets just better and better with time, and even if you keep it in the fridge, it doesn't seem to dry out. It just gets fudgier and more delicious. This is actually a recipe that I got from a chef of a restaurant when I was living in Positano, and I've used it for many years, although I tend to add a little bit of cacao powder just to make it a little bit more chocolatey. And I think that with this type of cake, it changes dramatically depending on how long you leave it in the oven and whether you chill it and how long you chill it in the fridge. So be aware that although I think 5 different people could follow this recipe and get 5 different cakes. So it's very important how long you leave it. For me, if you like a very solid cake and you don't like it where it's a little bit sort of gooey in the middle, then I would cook it longer. However, I really love a very moist cake that isn't too dry, and I do like that lovely fudgy texture, especially when it's cold from the fridge, because it kind of it's solid enough that you can cut slices, but it certainly feels, I don't know, just very chocolatey and decadent. And so for me, I left it in for 30 minutes and then took it out, let it cool completely. You don't want to put a hot cake in the fridge. Let it cool completely, and then I left it in for 24 hours at least in the fridge. So that it really sets. So you don't worry if you just want the top to be quite crisp, but if you and shake it and not too wobbly. But if you put a skewer in and you find that like it feels a bit moist, or if you just press it and it feels a bit tender, don't worry, because that time in the fridge will really solidify everything, and just I just love that texture. I think it's so yummy. It's kind of, I mean, it's not as soft as a mousse, but it's almost verging on that texture, and it's so wonderful, especially in summer. In order to sort of counter the rich chocolatey flavor, I like to add fruit on top, and we went just down to the fields around the property here because, as many of you know, a lot of the fields around the farm are cultivated with wheat and vineyards. And in between a wheat field and the vineyards, there are these blackberries that are just growing wild. And so Guido and I went down the other evening at sunset, because it's the only time you can be outside. And we just picked all these delicious wild blackberries. That contrast between that lovely sort of tart blackberry and then the fudgy chocolate is perfect. I like to just sift a little cacao powder around the edges, or you could use icing sugar, I suppose, and then just pile all the fruit on top in a lovely, decadent pyramid. It just it makes me so happy. I think obviously you eat with your eyes as well, and this is just a pleasure to gaze upon and also to devour. September is the best month in Italy because I think it's well, for Italy anyway, it's the most productive month because everyone's relaxed. They've come back from summer holidays and things get done. So let's hope that that is indeed the case. So next week it is all on. We have builders coming to start the ensuite bathroom. We have other builders coming in to fill in all the holes that were done for the air conditioning and heating. We have another carpenter coming to build this whole structure for all the pool stuff that needs to be undercover. Then we have another group coming to assemble the pool lining, another building team coming to lay all the bricks. And if you ask why, I mean, it's strange. In Italy, there isn't just one company. When you have a pool, when you build a pool, there isn't just one company that does everything. You have to get different, all different specialized people for all the different elements of the pool, which is why it's so complicated, because they all have to get on with each other. And if they fight, or if one of them makes a mistake and the others blame it on, everyone blames it on someone else. So it's just about keeping the peace and mediating between all these different companies that are involved in that. I thank you for all of your wonderful emails and comments and support. It's just been absolutely glorious to have such a positive community supporting me and in this experience of being a first-time mother. But I have to say, I'm trying to prepare Guido. I'm saying, do you realize, like, that from what I hear, I don't know, but from what I hear, there's a high chance I just won't be able to think, won't be able to function. And it's true that newborns sleep a lot, but I think that it will just be, surely it will be quite disruptive, and so I really want to get as much organized now as I can, while I'm still lucid and alert and rested. I have to say thank you very much if you've subscribed to my channel. I think I'm at it got to, what am I at, 264,000 I think now, and I really truly appreciate it, because you don't have to subscribe, it's not mandatory, but I mean, if you do, well, first of all, you get the notification when I put the video out, because everyone knows that's certainly not consistent with what time I put it out on a Friday, but also it's mainly just it helps me a lot, because I think YouTube only suggests your videos to people if you've got a lot of subscribers, or that at least contributes to the algorithm. So yeah, when you click that little subscribe button and the bell, you're doing me a huge favor, and I really appreciate it. Thank you as well to my patrons, lovely people who believe in this channel and donate to this channel. Don't worry, I will, if I stop making videos, to take a bit of time to just enjoy the baby when it comes. I'll put a pause on that, so that you're definitely not donating anything to a channel if there's not videos coming out. I would feel that would be an injustice if I wasn't giving you content. So yeah, I will definitely be doing that if I take a pause in making the videos. So yes, thank you to those lovely people. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a beautiful weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Alla prossima.